This media is brought to you by Polyscope.
In the realm of tomorrow, where tech meets mind, we ponder, we dream.
That's good. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here on Think Future. My name is Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. Today, we have a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us about what you're doing and what you're passionate about.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good to be here.
By the way, I love the burgundy. Very nice.
Matching. It wasn't planned. Thank you for inviting me. So my name is Esty. I'm 33 years old. I was born and raised in Israel and moved to the Netherlands 4 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of adventures. I moved here with my dog, Parker, and now I live here with him and my boyfriend, who I met here.
Nice.
Thank you. My professional background is 4 years as a crime investigator. I did a BA in neuroscience and philosophy. And for the past 6 years, I was user experience designer. 4 years here in the Netherlands. And a lot of frustrations and passions that started growing in me led me to resign and start my own business.
Wow, very cool. So tell us more. So how did you tell me about just your criminal investigation type of stuff? How'd you get into that? Why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, so that was back in the army. I wanted to do something meaningful that will also be interesting. And I'll be honest, I was really into the CSI, Miami, New York. I always imagined myself
the TV, the media got you, did it?
Yeah. I had a lot of American influence throughout my life in many choices. But then this opportunity came my way, and I was really drawn to it, especially. Something in me felt that it is the right thing to choose from all the options that I had. And it was the right thing because it was 4 years that really taught me a lot, especially asking questions. I became, I think I was the best at just asking a lot of questions, which would also make sense when I'll talk about what I'm doing today.
Well, my favorite philosopher, Socrates, that's all he ever did was ask questions, right? And that's the reason why he was, he forced him to kill himself because he asked too many questions.
Almost happened to me.
No, really?
People at some point just hated it. It could be annoying to some people. Oh
yeah, for sure. But you need to get to the truth, or at least as close to the truth as you possibly can, right?
Yeah. You also need people to want to get to the truth themselves, or
that's
else
right.
They're very defensive. Yeah. So it was 4 years of a lot of amazing experiences, and some of them were tough as well. I saw everything from simple crimes to big stuff like rape and drug dealing and deaths, a lot of bad stuff. But I learned a lot. And at some point, I realized that it's not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it kind of drags you down after a while, right? It's a little pessimistic.
Yeah, and you learn how to do the separation, to detach your feelings from what you see. At some point, it becomes almost like you are part of a show. And that's how your brain kind of tries to deal with all the hard things that you're exposed to.
Right.
And it happened to me. But again, something in me told me that it's time to move on It also had to do with me waking up my manager in the middle of the night, where he just came back from another crime scene, and telling him, hey, there's another thing that you need to come back to the office for.
Oh,
And he's
no.
like, Esty, I'm with the key in the door and I need to. Yeah. So that's when I was like, okay, that's not the life I want for myself.
Yeah, that is the kind of job that is 7/24, right? You can't really be off the clock because anything can happen at any time, right?
Yeah. And even when you're off and nothing happens, then you always think about it. There's always something more you can do, another question you can ask, another lead you can check, and it's going in your head all the time. And it's difficult. It really affects the quality of life. So I started to develop this will to study something that is more compassionate towards people. And psychology came up. But I also knew I don't want to be a therapist, and neuroscience.
Because that's just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might not be any crimes, but talking to somebody about their problems all day long, that has its own issues, right?
Yeah, and that was exactly the reason why it was a no, because I'm already carrying a lot of heaviness with me, and I wanted to stay away from it. But I still wanted to know more about people, about brain, about behaviors, why we do what we do. And the main question that was in my head was, if we are the species that is controlling Earth, and we are controlled by our brain, then the brain is what I want to know more about.
Right.
So neuroscience, that's how I got to study that. And it was the first year they opened neuroscience and philosophy.
Wow, that's a great combination. I love that.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's it. And everyone was like, what are you going to do with it? Go study computer science.
Well, that's one of those things that you can do anything with, right? It's kind of like philosophy. It's kind of like law. There's a lot of areas. There are a lot of things like that are so broad ranged that affect humanity in so many different ways that you can do so many things with it. It's like a broad brush. So that's really cool. If that was available for me, I would have done that. That's super cool. Super cool.
You're doing a lot with it now, right? With philosophy?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, I am a philosophy major, so I did major in philosophy, but I didn't get the neuroscience part. But that would have been very interesting to have those two aspects of it, because it's kind of like those are the two sides of the brain, right?
Yeah. It was super interesting. And by the way, as a side note, I remember back then, alongside the people that said, oh, there's nothing you can do with it, why would you choose it? Many articles started coming up and saying philosophy is the profession of the future. You should study philosophy. No one believed in it.
That's right.
Look where we are.
Well, I'm a bit older than you, and I remember when I was in high school and I was telling my counselors I wanted to study philosophy, and they said, "Why? The only jobs out there for philosophers are philosophy teachers. So you can get your degree in philosophy, and then become a teacher of philosophy, so you can teach other kids to become philosophers and philosophy teachers too." So it was a never-ending loop. Like there was nothing to it, and I'm like, that's not what philosophy is like. It's the underpinning. It's the underpinning of a lot of our knowledge comes from philosophy. A lot of the way we act. I mean, there's so many aspects to it, but for some reason during that time period, it was considered a throwaway. That no, you had to get into tech, or you had to get into these other fields that had more sway to them. And I think now philosophy is again coming back to become very, very important. Yeah,
and it's funny because the first scientists, I think, were philosophers. They started from philosophy. They're asking,
that's right,
what is the world? And then they really start to investigate.
That's right. Well, philosophy included all science at one point.
Yeah. So I did that, and after I finished, I realized that I don't want to do an academic career, which seemed like the only option with what I studied. And during COVID, I just went for UX UI because tech, money, it's great. UX is still in the realm of helping people, solving problems, bringing a better experience to products. So I did find myself attracted to it as well.
And the neuroscience philosophy would work great as part of UX because it's almost like a practical way of applying the things that you learned in neuroscience and philosophy.
Yeah, exactly. And in many trainings of user experience, they are teaching things that I studied during my studies of philosophy, neuroscience, and psychology. It's all there. So it was a good development. But then 4 years in corporate just did things.
Is that your number? Like 4 years here, 4 years here, 4 years here? Is that your? It's like okay, I'm done. In 4 years, I'll be done again.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that, but it was 4, 4, 4. And I decided it developed throughout 3 years. They started inviting me to speak in summits and events of customer experience, and I always found myself doing it a little bit different. It was never a case study of UX. It was always something with philosophy, something with neuroscience, something completely different. And then the last time I went to the same summit was last November, and I gave an entire talk about philosophy and AI and neuroscience, and I brought it all together at its storytelling and the natural development of everything. And something in it just clicked. It was like, okay, this is your time to take this, do something, and get out of corporate. And that was the base of what I'm building now. My organization is called Build It Real. Right now, it's only me building.
You're a solopreneur, right?
Yes. I do have bigger vision, and I want it to grow, but it's foundations time.
How long have you been doing this now?
I resigned last April. But I started building things around 3-4 months before that. So putting a website live, doing a lot of admin, coming up with more ideas, and also started to investigate the main theme that I'm going to work with, because one keynote will not hold an entire...
Well, you do the circuit with one keynote, then you write another keynote based on the experiences from that first keynote.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I did want to dive deep into the idea of the brain and stories, that our brain understands the world through stories. Everything is, we never look or hear or get with our senses just 2 data points and they mean something to us. They mean nothing until they come into a story. And there's something in that connected everything I did until then, including personal experiences. And I understood that we really have a power to change the story of our lives if we know it. And through that, I got to the concept of trapped narratives.
Trapped narratives. Tell me about that. That sounds interesting.
Okay, I will read the definition that I came up with, and then I will explain. It will be easier.
Okay.
So a narrative is a story your brain made up years ago to protect you. But today, that same story is keeping you stuck. It's an invisible script running in the background of your mind that creates a massive gap between reality as it actually is and reality as you wish it to be.
I like that.
Yeah, good.
And these scripts are running in the back of our brains all the time as new information comes to us, but we always compare what we're doing, what we're currently doing to these scripts.
Yeah. Now those scripts are not only a story, they throughout life, they created a whole system of habits and behaviors and beliefs and eventually an identity of who we are, whether we're aware of it or we don't. So an example for a trap narrative will be a person that is either using drugs or drinking alcohol until they forget who they are. And then you ask them, why are you doing that? Oh, it's so much fun. I just enjoy it. It brings me so much happiness and joy. And they really believe that.
And it becomes part of their identity. It's like, I'm the person who does this.
Yeah, exactly. And then if they want to change it, they cannot just stop. It will not hold for long. They need to figure out why they do it in the first place. And that's where you go back and you start asking questions to uncover the thing that created it. Now, from my research so far, most of the time those trap narratives are based on childhood traumas, defense mechanisms that were created by our brain to protect us. So a person that is using drugs to be gone from their mind, sometimes just using it as a way to escape. But even if they know it, they don't always know from what. I have a close friend who I really dug into the whole idea. He really enjoys drinking every other weekend until he forgets everything.
Right.
And the more we dug into it, the more questions I asked, we got to the trap narrative itself, which was he didn't feel comfortable in his own skin. And that brought him to a place where he feels comfortable in his own skin.
What, the alcohol, the drinking.
And that's why it was fun. It wasn't fun because it's alcohol and I'm with my friends and everything is great. It's fun because I don't know how to feel comfortable within myself.
But then he was comfortable within himself once he started drinking. Like he got to the point that would make him feel comfortable. Yeah. That's interesting. And did he want to change that behavior? Did he want to stop?
Yeah. At least reduce significantly the amount. Because there's just so much life that is being prevented because of it. I saw what excessive use of drugs and alcohol are doing to people, and it's just it takes a lot of the weak and brain power and energy. And at some point in life, you realize that it's not worth it. There are better things to enjoy. Yeah.
And the thing is that I think he may have wanted to change. And I think for change in general for human beings, I think people want to change. They have this thing and they have a problem, whether it's drugs, whether it's weight loss, where it's whatever, they want to be a better, different person. And it's tough for them to change. So not only is it tough for them to change because of these narratives, it's also tough for them to change what's happening around them because everyone expects them to act a certain way too, right? I'm sure that this person you're talking about had a whole bunch of friends. They were like, wow, this is great. I mean, we're having so much fun. Yeah. And then when he stops drinking, it's like, what are you doing? You're not the same person anymore. So the expectations are your own and everybody around you.
Exactly. And then it goes back to what you said before, is the identity that is created around it. So if I don't drink, what do I do for fun?
Yeah. You smoke. You smoke or you do drugs or you just replace one thing with something else
Yeah,
instead of something that actually is helpful.
yeah.
Well, how
So
do you break those narratives? I mean, you obviously you uncover them, but then how do you break out of them?
so I think it's first of all, it's a lot of work.
Mm,
It's the moment you surface what it is really about, the knowledge of it gives you an option and a choice. You're
yeah.
not running on an invisible narrative or mechanism. Now you know, okay, this is why I do it. So if I do it because I don't feel comfortable in my own skin, then let's try to figure out ways to feel comfortable.
Mm,
Then it's from excavation, it turns into exploration of what can I do to make this better. And the more things you try, you have a higher chance of finding the thing that will help you.
mm,
And I think this is something that it is quite a problem in how things are working out, especially on social media. You get all this advice everywhere: do this, do that.
yeah.
This is how you break this habit. This is how you change this. And people really want the advice,
Oh
but
yeah.
then
But how
work
much of it is real? How much of it will
exactly.
actually work? Yeah.
And what works for one person will not necessarily work for another. So it's a lot of trial and error
Mm,
until you find that thing. And you need to challenge yourself. You also you need to want it. Because if someone wants or need to break out of that habit or break the narrative and change it, they need to really want it and be committed to a journey,
yeah.
to everyday effort, to put the energy in it, because it's not a walk in a park. It's a lot of things to break down. As I said, it's connected to habits and beliefs, and the more you try and change, the more stories you uncover.
Mm. Is it
And
true? So I read somewhere that habits and beliefs are all basically layered and they never disappear. You just have to layer more habits and beliefs on top of those things that are there, and that's why you can never really get rid of anything. It's always there, but it just needs to be replaced by something else. So, say if you were a smoker and you were a heavy smoker, that habit of wanting to smoke is still there, but you replace it with something else, with healthy eating or whatever. It's like, do those habits never disappear? And they always have to be sort of distracted by something new?
that's a good question.
Hmm.
I don't think I have an answer of yes or no. I will definitely check if there's anything in the neuroscience that is talking about it. I do know that we have default behaviors, we have default thoughts. Uh, we have a network that is called default mode network in our brain.
Hmm.
And sometimes it does feel like we're replacing one thing with another. I think, at least I hope that the trapped narratives are the thing that will solve it. Because if this is the thing that sits at the base of this machine that is layered with beliefs and behaviors and everything, and you get to the bottom of it and you figure it out and you start rewriting it, it means that you might be able to really change the habits or at least get rid of them.
Mm.
I don't know to say for sure. I do know, the only thing I can say is a personal example is my sugar addiction. I was really
Oh, sugar is amazing. I love sugar. It's the best.
yeah, and I think that my trap narrative with sugar was since I was a baby, and I cried a lot, and my parents just wanted me to stop. So they took the pacifier, dipped it in honey, put it in my mouth. I will shut up for hours.
Nice. Better than whiskey, which my parents did.
Is it better?
I don't
Yeah, and then I grew up consuming a lot of sugar, and it became just what I do. I eat sugar. And now, after years of that was a lot of work. Not only ignore the sugar, don't look at it, don't bring it to your house, don't go to places that sell it. And now I can really go past it and be like, I don't really want it.
Yeah, but sugar is so much fun. Don't you feel like a bit less, like you're having less fun if you have less sugar?
I thought so at the beginning.
Mm.
That was the hardest part to detach, because I'm like, that's my fun, especially in the weekend. I'm waking up on Saturday morning, I'm walking around Amsterdam, going to the new bakery, trying the new pastry. Yeah. And then what am I gonna do instead of that? And now
you had to find a replacement.
Yeah. But I didn't. I don't have a replacement to sugar. I know for some people, what helps is really create all those low sugar desserts or replace the sugar itself.
They're not the same. They're not the same at all.
No. No. I just don't consume it unless I will allow myself, if it's a birthday and there's a cake, and I'm not like, no sugar for me from now on, thank you. I think that's also when you're fighting with it, it means you're still controlled by it.
Exactly.
So I'm not fighting with it anymore. I will have it every once in a while, but I don't need it in my life. I don't feel the need to go and buy ice cream or go and buy, even when my partner will be like, let's go buy ice cream. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then I look at the fridge and I'm like, do I really want it? No.
Well, you have good self-control, because I could never do that.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's self-control, because there was a time it was self-control. But I think I really something really changed in my approach to it. And it also came from understanding my habits around it, mostly. It actually happened in Vietnam. I traveled by myself, and at some point I really craved something sweet. And have you been to Vietnam?
I have not yet. No.
Okay. So they don't have bakeries like in America, like in the Netherlands, with nice pastries, and they have their own desserts. They're sweet, but it's also hard to find. You don't just go to the street and you have 10 dessert places in front of you. So I said, okay, I'll first go grab lunch, and if I still want something, I'll do the trip of finding something sweet. And I never wanted something sweet after that. That's when I started understanding, okay, if I'm hungry, I want sugar. And I followed all my habits around sugar since then. And that helped me, because then it was like, I don't really want sugar. I'm just hungry. I don't really want sugar. I'm just walking around the city, and I have this habit of grabbing something, all those little things. And you break it bit by bit. That's why I said it takes time. But awareness is very important, maybe the most important thing, and then taking action. So awareness and taking action, and really adopting a journey mindset, and be okay that it's not going to be perfect. And I think people don't need to ditch their identity completely, go all or nothing. You can hold your identity to have something to move from. And maybe it is the replacements of habits. The more good habits you put in, the less space there is for the bad ones. Yeah.
So it's time to think like a futurist. It's the year 2036, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Where do you think we're going to be in 10 years? Do you think we're going to have better control of our habits, or do you think it's going to be worse, or where do you think we're going to be?
I hope we have better control of our stories and narratives and habits as a result. I hope I do have kind of a utopian vision.
Excellent.
Where,
I love utopian visions because hardly
Okay.
anybody ever has them.
okay, then I'll share it. It's part of the keynote I told you about. I made this whole case on how AI will send us back to the past, because the past started with philosophers, created science through stories, everything through stories. Science brought us technology, brought us AI. AI will bring us back to the real world. Because I hope, and I heard some people that have more knowledge about it than me, that AI will eat the internet, the digital world.
It's already eaten the internet.
Exactly.
There's none of it left. Look at what happened with Google. It's like they've changed their default mode to AI mode now. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can switch it back to the search, but the number one way where people search for anything on the internet is through Google, right? So they use Google AI mode is now the default. So it's basically eaten the internet already. It's
Exactly.
already
Yeah.
yummed it all up.
So the more that will happen, the less we have to do in the digital world. And then we will come back to the real world. And in the real world, we don't have a lot of distraction. And something in it, I hope, will force us to look inwards and do more work, be back in nature, explore our inner world and creativity, put more stories out there in any shape or way, if it's music or dancing or any type of movement, and writing and books, and just be with people, families, book clubs, speaking, workshops, everything you can do with people and with yourself. I think that will do really good to ourselves, to our narratives, and to our habits as well.
Yeah. I think we need the AI to start telling us, step away from the keyboard, put your phone down, go outside and touch some grass. Because I mean, and I think this is an underrated thing with AI, is that people think it's such a technological thing. It's all about technology, but it's full of knowledge that human beings have created. So
Exactly.
if AI is almost more human than we really think it is, because it's so much of it is human. I like to say that it's like 2 parts human, 1 part machine, because you've got the human who's entering the prompt, you get the human that's created all the stuff in the LLM, and then the machine just puts it all together, right? So it's more human than we make it out to be.
I like it. The way I see it is, I call it just our collective knowledge, maybe our collective consciousness, if you like. And then just the thought of, I have access to the knowledge of everyone who shared stuff on the internet. That's insane.
I love that. It's like we've never lived in a better time. Some people are going, "Oh no, these times are terrible. I'd rather live in the 80s or the 90s." And I'm like, "Are you kidding? This is the best."
This is the best. We're living what people wrote and directed movies about.
Exactly. And sure, there's no robots walking around doing stuff yet, but that'll come pretty soon.
We'll get there.
Awesome. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
So my Substack, Esty Zilberman, in all the platforms. My Substack, LinkedIn. I'm going to be more active there soon, when I'll start promoting my talks and workshops. I have a YouTube channel that I need to, I'm working on it as well. But for now, I guess these 3 platforms. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'll put the links in the show notes so people go direct to your work. So thank you so much. This has been great.
Yeah, it's been a great conversation. Thank you so much for having me. I loved it.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Pixels and philosophies merge and mold, a future untold, unseen.